After President Trump announced the beginning of peace talks between Russia and the United States,
it's a war that should have never started.
One of the clearest outcomes is a divided Ukraine. It would be a Ukraine with a central government in Kyiv, and then on the other side of the line, a Russian-occupied area that is largely in ruins, governed from Moscow. Putin's goals in Ukraine have been a puppet government in Kyiv.
Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
And Russian control over the eastern half of the country. There's no sign that these goals have changed, and it really is the question of land.
Because at some point, there will be a border between war and peace.
In 2014, Russia intervened militarily in Crimea and in eastern Ukraine. In this initial phase, Russia occupied about 7% of Ukrainian territory. The territory under occupation now is about 20% of Ukraine. There are about 6 million people living in this area, and their future will be decided by these talks. Putin has not occupied the entire Donbas region of eastern Ukraine, which was considered a minimal war goal for Russia. Since December of 2022, the total land that's changed hands is about 0.5% of Ukrainian territory. There's been a fierce fighting. The majority of the casualties in the war, which now are about 1 million soldiers, occurred in that fight. So if the line is drawn where it is now, it's essentially the same location where it was in December 2022. In Ukraine, there has certainly been an acknowledgement that the military balance of power does not allow Ukraine to recapture all of the lost territory going back to 2014. The more crucial goal in negotiations are security guarantees that would prevent additional Russian gains. Stopping the violence now will not be any guarantee against a resumption in the future.
We cannot just agree to a ceasefire without real security guarantees, without a system to keep Russia in check.
There certainly is a feel that this is a moment when Putin is claiming a victory, that his isolation has been broken, that the military gains, however limited, have paid off. And there's been a broader issue of not rewarding aggression.
Maybe Russia will give up a lot, maybe they won't, and it's all dependent on what is going to happen.
We have countries around the world that might be watching this conflict. Often the example of China and Taiwan are cited, where a stronger party might feel empowered to use military force if there's no successful pushback on Russia.